この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
That's the exact reason why I'm okay with maid characters, but I can't stand maid cafes. Right? Like that. You know what I mean?
My fucking god, going into a maid cafe is the cringiest shit
it's so
I have
cringy.
ever
it
been
is,
to.
It is extremely cringy, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't mind the whole, like, goshijin-sama thing, like, if it's a fucking fictional 2D character on my screen saying it.
I actually worked at the Maid Cafe at Anime Milwaukee.
Of course you did.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. You didn't even need to tell me. I just assumed.
And then, oh my god, I really hope this guy doesn't watch this. But, so I was just kind of like, we had 10 minutes off, right? So I was going to go get some water or something. And this guy is just like, wow, are you working at the Maid Cafe? And I had my maid outfit on. We all had the same uniform. I'm like,
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And I was on the escalator, and then he turned away, and then I turned away. And then when we were closing up for the night, this guy comes up, and he hands me like this dollar that he origamied into a shirt. And he's like, do you think this is a really cool like thing? And I'm like, he's like, you can keep that. You can keep that dollar. I'm like, and then
like you're frothing at this point.
Finally paid.
Frothing at the loins. It's like, oh shit, he gave me $1.
And then so I was just sitting down waiting for to get my parents started waiting for the night to end. And then he just sat down, and then he just didn't say anything. And then like 20 minutes goes by, and I'm like, I'm gonna go in the back, and I stay there for 2 hours, and he's still there waiting. And so I actually had the manager go out and yell at him to get out, and I feel bad because he's actually really shocked. Like, he thought I was genuine. He could come out and be like, when's our date?
I had just started going out with Aki, but this is before we went public. So this is the convention that I met Aki in, and that's 2 days, literally 2 days after we decided oh yeah, let's start going out.
Yeah.
And we were doing a signing together. This fucking girl comes up to me, and she's dressed in I think it was Madoka Magica or something, but she had a giant wand, right? A massive staff. And she puts it down, and she's like, "Hi, Joey." And I'm like, oh no, it's one of these kinds of girls. All right. Hey, what's up? And she's like, "Can you sign the stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I start signing it. And then she's like, "Also, here's a question, but can I be your Anime Expo waifu?" And I just kind of stopped and...
How to trigger a flight or flight.
And the moment she said that, I just kind of stopped. I just looked up. I was like, "Could you say that again, please?" Because in my head, I'm starting panicking. And same with Sydney, right? I could feel the fucking glare of Aki right on my fucking neck. I didn't even have to look over. I'm like, I know you're staring at me. And of course, right, I have the pressure from here and the pressure right in front of me, right? There's two women staring at me for totally different reasons.
Yeah.
And I just fucking panicked, right? I couldn't, because at that point I was I couldn't say, yeah, sure, jokingly, because my woman is fucking glaring at me.
There's no right answer in that situation.
But I also couldn't say no, right? Because I don't want to hurt her feelings, and she lined up, all this time to, meet me. Yeah. And so I just fucking panicked, and I said, I don't know, I got ranks.
Oh my god, Joey! You didn't have to murder her like that.
It's I got ranks. It takes time. I was just bullshitting the entire time. And the moment...
What do you mean by rank?